Hey there, my name is Haya bin Shabbat, and today I am going to invite you to meet Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses, the original leader of the Jewish people, at his legendary burning bush. For the next couple of minutes, I want to invite you to travel with me above time and space through the fifth dimension to Moshe's epic burning bush moment. And I'm going to invite you to consider a new awareness of this famous scene from over 3,000 years ago. You know, our sages say that every single Jewish soul was with Moshe Rabbeinu at Har Sinai, at Mount Sinai, when we as a people received the Torah. Are you aware of this? And we also know that Hashem, our creator, is above time and space, and our neshamas, our souls, are infinite. And we also know that from the Torah, that Bnei Israel, the children of Yaakov, each and every Jew, are all one body. So what I want you to imagine with me right now is that we weren't just with Moshe at Mount Sinai, but we were with him much earlier than that, way back at the burning bush. And we weren't just sitting back and watching like around a campfire. We were actually there experiencing our very own burning bush moment right along with him. So let me explain. We know from Parshas Shmot that Moses was born to great leaders of the Jewish nation. But then, by divine providence, he spent his entire childhood and adolescence in the palace of the king of Egypt as the adopted grandson of Pharaoh. And the Midrash, which is part of the collection of the Oral Torah, says that Paro's stargazers could see that Moshe was destined for greatness, even as a toddler. So they wanted to kill him in case he would try to take over Paro's throne. But an angel intervened and kept him alive, even way back then as a young boy. But then, as fate would have it, we all know the story of Moses killing the Egyptian, and he fled Egypt, and he spent several chapters of his life in the desert long before he led the Jewish people into the desert. In fact, the Midrash tells us that he became a king of another nation during this time in modern-day Ethiopia. But the wheels of fate kept turning, and Moshe experienced several more blows during this time until he eventually ended up as a shepherd in Midian. So what happened there? He was born destined for greatness. He experienced several difficult challenges as a child, including being ripped away from his parents, forced to grow up in a strange home with strange customs. They tried to kill him more than once. He took a risk and he stuck his neck out to defend somebody, thinking he was standing up for justice and doing the right thing. And then he ended up having to run for his life. He spent years trying and failing, thinking that things were looking up, only to fall back down again. And finally, he decided, that's it. That's enough. I'm just going to play it safe. I'm just going to create a nice little comfort zone for myself and stay put. I mean, what was I thinking that I could become something significant? You see, Moses was born to be a creator. But life knocked him down so hard that he decided to become a consumer. So what's the difference between a creator and a consumer? A creator makes things happen, whereas a consumer waits for things to happen. And this is where we all join Moshe Rabbeinu at this very moment in time, at our own burning bush moment. Hashem came to Moses and said, my friend, it's time to stop playing small. And what did Moshe say? He said, I can't. I just can't do it. Who am I? I mean, what if they ask for my qualifications? I'm not a good speaker. I have a speech impediment, for crying out loud. Please, Hashem, I beg of you, find someone else. Anyone else. But in the end, Moshe trusted in Hashem and he answered that call. He chose to stop playing small, to stop living like a consumer. And he chose to step into his greatness, into his destiny. You see, it's no accident that you are listening to this message today. By divine providence, you have arrived once again at your own burning bush moment, right here with Moshe Rabbeinu. And by divine providence, you are being called to make that same decision. Were you born to be a creator or a consumer? Are you going to stay as a consumer or are you going to step into life as a creator? You see, we all have a comfort zone, a space where we feel safe. And each of our comfort zones, they have a floor and a ceiling based on our own creation. The floor is our low point. It's where, we say enough is enough, and I'm not willing to allow myself to go any further than this. So I got to get my act together and clean myself up. And we've all hit that rock bottom where we say enough is enough. But then the ceiling, on the other hand, is actually where things start to get scary, and our deserve level doesn't let us experience so much abundance before we start to self-sabotage, to get back to our subconsciously programmed acceptable range of comfort, of small. Now, these levels are different for everybody. Some people are comfortable earning $100,000 a year, for example. Some people are comfortable earning a few million or a few billions. But this has nothing to do with money. You see, money is simply a side effect of your mindset. And speaking of money, let's be clear about something. You are meant to live spaciously, to live abundantly and well. In fact, the Lubavitcher Rebbe said every Jew should be able to pay $1 billion in taxes. That's how much abundance Hashem has for us in this world. And his wife, the Rebbitzin, famously said it's important to enjoy life. But that doesn't mean that we're just here to eat, drink, and be merry. We're blessed to be a blessing. So it's okay. You can have the homes, the car, the portfolio, the vacations without feeling guilty. By all means, enjoy. But the question is, why are you chasing them? And how are you enjoying them? Is it because you need to feel important? Or is it because you're creating big kalim, big vessels to channel more kedusha, more holiness, more divine light into this world? So I want to ask you, where in your life have you settled for a comfort zone? We all have it. Where have you been choosing to play small? Are you ready to start showing up in your full divine power? My husband and I, we often ask ourselves the question, on a scale of 1 to 10, how big are we playing? And usually, if we're being honest with ourselves, we're holding around a 2 or a 3. What's keeping us from our greatness? To be honest, excuses. Very real, very valid excuses. Life circumstances. But at the end of the day, it's all just excuses. What about you? Some of you have had very difficult life experiences, and I would never dream of undermining that. You, though, must choose to use those memories and experiences as a stumbling block or a stepping stone. My friend, you, Moshe, and Hashem are all there together right now at that burning bush. You've given Hashem all of your reasons for staying small, just like Moses did. Maybe you've been praying, you've been begging for a breakthrough. But deep down, there's a piece of you that's afraid to fully let go and trust in Hashem. As Nelson Mandela famously said, our greatest fear is not that we're insignificant. Our greatest fear is that we're powerful beyond measure. I know from personal experience, it is scary to put yourself out there. It is terrifying to step out into the unknown. It's awkward and it's embarrassing to make yourself vulnerable, especially if you're used to feeling important in your own little corner of the world. You think, what if people see me fall? What if they see me fail? What if they see me look ridiculous? I'm supposed to take risks and put myself out there after I've created this little self-imposed corner of importance? Now, I'm going to tell you personally, my greatest fear in life is that I will miss out on my own potential. And I don't know about you, but I do not want to go down in a pile of potential. So it's you, Moshe, and Hashem all together right now at your own personal burning bush. Are you ready to let go? Are you ready to stop being a consumer and start being a creator at a whole new level? Are you ready to let go of those old limitations? You were born for greatness. It's in your DNA, and you are limitless. I want you to know I love you, I believe in you, and you are powerful beyond measure. And if you're ever struggling to believe, you can borrow my belief in you. You got this, my friend. It's time to step into your destiny.